Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, I'm SocioPsycho, and this is a continuation of StarCraft Wings of Liberty Mission 3, Planet Agria. Let's save Dr. Ariel Hanson. Let's get right to it.
Any ship receiving this transmission. The Zerg are invading Agria. The Dominion abandoned us here. We're just a small farming colony. We've got to evacuate before we're overrun. If you can hear this message, please help us.
Incoming transmission.
Thank you so much for responding to our distress call, Commander. I'm Dr. Ariel Hanson, and I represent the people of the Agria colony.
Pleasure to meet you, Doc. You can call me Jim. What's the situation?
The Zerg have overwhelmed our planetary defenses. The colony is lost. For the past 12 hours, we've been evacuating people to the nearest starport, but the Zerg attacks have become so intense, we can't get any more through. If you can guard the highway, we can start sending the remaining groups every few minutes.
Don't worry, Doc. We'll get your folks through to that starport safe and sound.
I pray you're right, Commander. The Zerg are more terrible than I ever imagined.
Agria is a nice name. You know, if you came across somebody and you're like, oh, why, hello, I am Agria, you're gonna think, wow, you know what, that's kind of its esteemed name. It's settled then. I will give my daughter that name.
Ready to fry. Let's do this.
I got us some fire bats, cowboy. These suckers have got flamethrowers that'll roast the Zerg, but good.
Firebats are really good as like a tank frontal assault unit, but what I always seem to mess up is the fact that when I have these units, somehow my medics will either just get caught or they won't. My medics will be too far away as my army gets larger, and my firebats will be in the back of the army instead of the front of the army, and they'll either not get engaged in combat, or when they do get engaged in combat, they'll die because they're not in the range of a medic. It's like, I'm just not good at controlling firebats all so well. And as you can see, I got a little distracted there, and I let my medics get swarmed. So if I pulled my medics back, there would have been a better chance of...
Thank goodness you're here. I'll give you control of the main building so you can help us evacuate the colony.
There would have been a better chance of the firebats just taking the damage as in tanking mode, but... Whoops.
SCV ready. Go ahead.
Now what I do remember about this is that she gets going pretty darn soon.
SCV ready.
We'll need to escort the convoys all the way to the main starport for them to have a chance of escaping this planet.
The first convoy from Lark's Crossing will be moving out soon.
Even on your normal, difficulties, so on brutal, I'm sure it's going to be pretty fast. So we need to start producing SCVs to get some resources up, and then getting an army pretty damn fast, because we do have some money from those resource collectors, the little crates we picked up. See, look at that. She's already getting ready to send that army up, and my barracks isn't even ready to start pumping out troops yet. Maybe we'll have a minute before she sends her troops out, so we can actually have some forces.
Don't stop for anything. Let's roll.
The first convoy shouldn't be too bad. Of course, then again, this is brutal, so and I haven't played this in a while, so I'm not really sure what to expect. Of course, it won't be as bad as the last mission. We kind of got overrun by the Zerg in that one. And we got supply blocked, that's why the medics aren't coming out.
Yes, sir.
Got an SCV taking care of that.
Someone had the right idea of building bunkers to defend the roads. Why are they empty?
The Dominion military abandoned them when the Zerg attacked. They didn't give a damn about the colony.
Sorry to hear that, Doc. At least these bunkers are in a good spot. I'll see if we can't get them manned.
Aye, aye, sir.
But until then, it's just that lone medic with very little health.
Go, go, go! You gonna give me orders?
So this mission is probably one of the easier ones, and it's obviously a starter.
Get 'em, boys. That's fine. Want a piece of me, boy? Got it. By the numbers, boy.
So the two main ways are build an army that basically moves with the entire troops
Roger that. SCV ready.
the entire way, or to build bunkers along the road. I think we're going to do both. We're going to start off with
I'm going.
having these troops
SCV
to help
ready.
protect, and then once we have enough
minerals.
financial capability
Not enough minerals.
and military might, where we can sort of split up our army into bunkers here and there, then we'll do that.
SCV ready.
The enemy shouldn't be as strong as in the last map, so we won't have to worry about insane amount of unreasonable Zerg swarming down upon us.
SCV ready.
It's a long haul to the starport, partner. How can we be expected to guard the whole thing?
I reckon we can use a mobile force to keep it clear, or build more bunkers to block the approaches. Either way should work.
Outstanding.
The next convoy is almost ready to go, Commander. Please alert your men.
SCV ready.
So I mean, really, the game plan right now is pretty simplistic because there's not a lot of responsibility. Because there's less to do in the fact that we don't have to worry about attacking the enemy or really trying to push the enemy back. We just have to protect these convoys, and we don't have a lot of building structures to worry about anyways. Once we get an engineering bay, we can get 1-1 out, which will really help in our, you know, offensive capability, offensive and defensive, plus 1 weapon, plus 1 armor. I think we do have some time that we can
Armed and ready.
get this little corner. There should be some minerals over here.
SCV ready.
My goose is getting cooked.
Big job, huh?
We'll worry about. We don't want to get supply blocked again. We have some extra money now, so take care of that. The troop that we have next to the south side should be able to handle, and then link up with the rest of the army.
SCV ready.
Base is under attack.
The doctor is in.
This better be good. The colonists are hurting. We gotta save them.
You know, I'm not really sad at all about losing that. We knew there was a way to save it. I mean, if we put out a little more aggressive and went a little more defensive, we could have definitely saved that. And I think there's an achievement to not lose any buildings on this map. But like I said in the beginning, I'm more worried about getting a military presence on the map than spreading myself too thin. We'll worry about defense a little later.
You want a piece of me, boy? We could use some help.
Our allies are being attacked.
So far, we're doing pretty good. I mean, this isn't, you know, overly difficult. And after you say that, then something dramatic will happen, and you're like, some lone-ranging baneling will come into the middle of my army and just destroy everything, and I'll be like, really? One baneling just killed my entire force. Good job! You just had to say something, didn't you? So, 10 out of 50 escorted. I
SCV ready.
should get another 10, I think, from that one. And we have 2 of the 3 research, the collect chrysalis,
What's going on?
as I was talking about previously, and the other one, the bonus objectives give a
You want a piece of me, boy?
research upgrade unlock availability. The later you get into the game, once we hit a plateau of research, that will unlock for us in the developmental stage.
Commander, another convoy will be heading out soon.
Sparky, who wants some?
See, here we go with my freaking
Upgrade complete.
flamethrowers being either, you know, way back or too far away from the medics. I can't seem to just micromanage them, I guess, to a perfect sickness.
We could use some help here.
To micromanage them to a perfect level, I guess.
I'm on it.
I guess that's why you don't really see them in ladder either. I don't think I've ever seen
Roger that.
a championship game where 2
Got it.
people were playing, or a Terran was playing against someone, and they decided, you know what, I'm going to use fire bats. I don't think I've ever seen them use fire bats before. It's not exactly one of those, I've seen Hellions that turn into a flame-style turrets, but not fire bats. So as you can see, this is pretty relaxed. Definitely in comparison to the last mission, we have a lot more breathing room, a lot less stress, and more money. We're not so much worried about financial capability or incapability. We're already maxed out on our command center resource gathering. I had a little mind melt there. I was like, wait, I'm doing 3 things at once. Where do I go? Now, if you're wondering why I'm putting the bunkers in that position a little lower along the road, it's simply because of the drop pod incomes later during that I do remember. It's sort of a habit I have of, if you're going to place towers, make them synchronize into a pattern that every time you play through, it's, you know, sort of the best way to do it for protectional purposes. So we'll build our protection route. Next we'll hit the middle, build some more barracks and build some more bunkers in the middle. Thus why the SCVs, pump out some SCVs to keep them on the front line, so when those bunkers do get attacked, then the SCVs will be right there to protect them.
Sir, we just detected Zerg organisms entering the upper atmosphere. I can't give you an exact fix, but they're heading your way.
This better be good.
We have another convoy ready to be escorted, Commander.
So why are we here?
Yeah. I can't build here.
So it's really like the show of the government that the only reason that we are here and have the availability is because Minx doesn't want to make himself weaker in the eyes of his swarm, and he pulls all his forces back to the core worlds, thus leaving colony planets like this. And when you do that, you leave your people out to dry. Well, guess what's going to happen? Someone's going to need to come in and try to save the day, and well, here we are. So it just rallies our cause, it makes us seem like more of a hero, and makes Minx seem like a dirtbag. I mean, he is a dirtbag, but it doesn't help his cause any. So as you can see, we have a pretty good solid foundation here. Our bunkers are getting up. There's not that much pressure. We have an army that can handle with different situations. We have a mobile army, and as you can see, the bunker got attacked there. That's why I put it there, so it would alleviate the pain or pressure off of the convoy. Because you don't want the convoy to get surrounded and then, you know, die. So if your army's in the north, makes sense now, doesn't it?
The Zerg have gotten through! Take them down!
SUV, why are you hiding like that? Silly fella.
What's going on? Who wants some? Armed and ready.
Mineral field depleted.
Go!
Our allies are being attacked.
Convoy's in danger. Hit them, boys.
Oh, that sucked. I just got banelings. That's what the banelings are, little zerglings filled with acid, and when they roll up into the enemy, they explode, doing a massive amount of AoE damage, and that's what happened. It's like an orange or greenish goo, and I lost some troops, so that kind of was disappointing. But I mean, I have plenty of reserves, and now I can start working on my third protectional grid.
Bad news? Gangway, coming through. Yeah, whatever.
Sir, I'm picking up seismic disturbances closing in on your position. I think it's some kind of tunneling Zerg.
Wonderful. It's just like him to keep things nice and interesting.
We're almost done, Commander. Another convoy will be starting out soon.
So even though you can tell that I'm not having too much issues with this, you can definitely feel an increase in pace. That if you're not on top of it, that you're going to get overwhelmed or you're going to be falling behind. And that's one thing you definitely don't want to do. You do not want to have to end up to or have fallen behind, because then it's can't really catch up. And the tunneling Zerg is most likely a Nidus network, which basically drops when a Nidus one bursts through the ground. Is a quick access point for Zerg to basically go through. It's like a tube.
Is the road safe up ahead? Guess we'll find out.
That way they can that's one way of Zerg transporting their troops across the map almost instantly.
This better be good. We hear you.
This should be the last convoy too. So you see, I mean, this mission, even though it's taken us, 20 some odd minutes because of the mission itself, hasn't been bad at all.
Depleted.
Go ahead.
Base is under attack.
Gangway.
That was a Nidus worm I just heard. And there it is. See, another reason why that bunker in that position is perfect. Give us that high ground, and we're able to take that Nidus worm out with no problem. And thus it's not a continuation or swarm on my frontline barracks.
This better want a piece of me, boy.
Base is on SCVs are under attack.
Yeah, big job, huh? Yep.
Base is under attack.
Some help here.
The most important thing when you're making bunkers is to not put yourself in a position where you're unable to have a multitude of bunker damage on one opponent. So if you put too many bunkers too close to the opening of a pathway, all you're doing is hurting yourself, because they'll stack and attack in that one instead of luring them in like a horseshoe style feel. A bow, a boomerang, curve, you want a curve. When you look at these bunkers here, you can see a curve, and that's what you want, because then it'll push them more further into you.
Go, lift off now.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen.
We've lost the colony, but my people got out alive, thanks to you, Commander.
See, Agria wasn't so hard. That was actually probably a pretty fun mission. And there are times like if you hold this mission off for a while and come back to it later, because you have that availability in the mission selectional choice, which is part of the reason why this game's so cool, is when you come back to this low-level mission with high upgrades, you can pump into some of these unseen Zerg territories and just be like, ha ha ha. So as you can see, colonies lost, achievements for that, buildings not lost, so good things to shoot for. The hero of the day.
Great job, sir. Dr. Hanson's offered to stay on with us for now, and I think her skills will be invaluable.
It's hard to believe I'm even here.
Great to have you, Doc. How you planning on pitching in?
Well, your medical facilities are medieval, and your science expertise is non-existent. Perhaps I could start there.
Ouch. Well, I guess you might be able to teach Stedman a thing or two. Welcome aboard, Doc.
Guess you heard the news by now, Raynor. Looks like you're back in business.
That I am, Mr. Hill. And fighting the Zerg and Dominion all at once is going to take its toll on my standing forces. You got any guns for hire?
But you know the invasion makes it a seller's market right now. Still, your bartender over there makes a hell of a Mai Tai. So, sure, I've got some mercenary contracts you might be interested in.
You're all heart, Mr. Hill.
So, mercenaries still cost money once we buy them, but they're elite troops, and on some of the missions they're actually very valuable. Or invaluable even. So we already have war pigs, which for Marines, so we'll buy for contract for the devil dogs. Shouldn't cost too much, and we can spend more of the upgrades elsewhere into the armory.
You meet Dr. Hanson yet?
Sure did. I asked that sweet thing if she'd like to give me a physical. No harm in asking, right? I think she's got her eye on some pansy ass, though.
Yeah? Who might that be?
Oh, I don't know. Some white knight kind of guy came charging down to save a colony, maybe. Damn, Jimmy. You never could read the ladies.
Donnie Vermillion, UNN. We've got Kate Lockwell on remote feed from Agria, a fringe colony. Are you there, Kate? Okay, we seem to be having a sound problem with... I'm being told Emperor Mangsk is going to address us directly. Let's take you to his announcement already in progress.
My finest military minds are being brought to bear, and it's my pleasure to announce that they'll soon be led by the hero of Taurus himself, General Horace Warfield.
Warfield? I thought he retired years ago.
With General Warfield at the helm, and our finely honed Dominion military under his command, I have every confidence that this new Zerg threat will be contained very soon.
There you have it, viewers. With Warfield in command, the Zerg swarm will be defeated in no time. Up next, Raynor ups his campaign of terror just as the Zerg reappear. Coincidence? You decide after these messages.
Jimmy, I thought you'd like these. They have a winning entry from a Zerg hunt a few years back. Maybe they'll bring you luck. Joey owner, Joey's Bar, Marsara.
I should really take this down. Guess the crew thinks it's cool or something.
I've heard a lot about you, Commander. The Dominion always portrayed you as a criminal, terrorist. There's more to you than it seems.
Well, with the Dominion being what it is, someone's got to stand up for the little guy. It sure ain't gonna be Mangsk.
Doesn't seem like the Emperor cares at all. My people from Agria and displaced populations from across the sector have all fled to a refugee staging area on Meinhof. There are reports of violence and disease spreading throughout the camps, but the Emperor's done nothing.
I'll look into it, Doc. It sure felt good rescuing those folks. But there's millions more out there that need help, too.
We can't be everywhere at once, sir. The important thing is that we set an example and gave them hope. Every time we help folks in need, it's another step on the road to a better future.
I know, Matt. But it's been 4 years and we're still no closer to bringing Mengsk down. Now with the Zerg back in the mix, your better future needs to hurry up and get here, or there's gonna be no one left to see it.
So if you're not already drawn into the story, I don't know what's wrong with you. It's a damn good story. So what else do we have in upgrade-wise? We can't heal faster yet, but bunkers gain 2 additional slots. That means instead of 4, we have 6 Marines in each bunker. That makes a huge difference. So I'll gladly take that one. When we click on this, it gives a little rundown. I'm not going to read all these or whatnot, but it gives a little rundown of the different units. So I'll go over them individually so you can see them, but if you want to actually read it, you'll pause it yourself. But for the upgrades, you have like Stim Pack, which is very valuable. It allows you to get across the map with ease, has a strong combat ability, as well as combat shield, plus 10 life, you know. So these different upgrades that I'm kind of skimming over, I just want you to understand them. Increase faster, cost less, Firebats, 4% larger attack range, though, like I said, don't really use Firebats all that much. And then +2 armor. So we don't have a lot of units right now, but we do have, you know, it's fairly understandable as to what they do. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mission 3. I'm a SocioPsycho. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.